Selamat pagi, Vanakkam, 大家早上好. Good morning, Party Chairman, Secretary General, comrades. Singapore is in a good position today. We have a safe and secure home. We have a strong SAF and a home team watching over our security. Over the last 50 years, we have developed a strong and robust economy. Back in 1965, our GDP was a mere less than $1 billion. Today, it stands close to $300 billion. Our GDP per capita is now almost $57,000. This has gone up 13 times since our independence. These are not just numbers. The lives of Singaporeans have been transformed over these 50 years. My life has changed. I remember the more difficult times in my youth when lunch was a huge bowl of steaming rice mixed in with an egg. I remember the times my brothers and I, just to save 10 cents, would bring an egg downstairs to the roti prata uncle so that we can have an egg prata. Today, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to see Singaporeans enjoying a standard of living that is admired across our region and even around the world. We have a first-class education system. Our healthcare system remains affordable and is expanding to meet future needs. Our housing needs are better met today than they were 5 years ago, and they are more affordable. We have nice parks and recreational facilities. And although our transportation system requires some more work, the government has taken many measures to improve it. In our society, we honor our elders. We have put in place the Pioneer Generation package. We consider also the needs of the less well-off, and we provide different social services to assist them. Singapore has come a long way. Things, of course, are not perfect, but we have advanced incredibly. But if we were to take a step back and reflect quietly, how did our Singapore story come about? How did we get here to Singapore 50 or SG 50? What would our answer be? What would your answer be? In my view, key reasons must include the fact that we had good leaders, good governance, with people at the core of our politics. Each generation of leaders have rallied Singaporeans to come together as one united people to collectively build our Singapore and chase our rainbows. The PAP, from our founding fathers to the very present generation, has led good, clean, and effective governments. Good political leadership is key. It is key to effective governance. Good leaders provided the strategic foresight that propelled our economy to leapfrog beyond our region. Good leadership rallied a nation to build a strong SAF to defend ourselves. Good leadership was the catalyst that gelled people from different races, different religions, into one people we see today. Singapore is in a good position now, but as a nation, we must recognize that we face looming challenges. We live in an increasingly complex world. Terrorism is at our doorstep. We are still a small country besides big neighbors. We are still a little red dot. The world economy is in uncertain territories. We need to recognize that Singapore's economy is dependent on the economic conditions of our major trading partners. We are not immune to global tides, nor even just regional upheavals. On our domestic front, our aging population will be a major challenge in the coming years. A shrinking population will have profound implications. Labor will become more scarce, businesses will in turn be affected, our hospitals and healthcare will be under more pressure, and the list goes on. In time to come, it will impact our economy. Our economy may become less competitive, less dynamic, and may even decline. Our very livelihoods may well be affected. We will feel certainly the impact across all aspects of life. How then will we find our way forward? This is, in my view, a key question in our elections. In the immediate outlook, we must not neglect the bread and butter issues facing Singaporeans. Singaporeans must see, must feel Singapore's success firsthand. In areas like housing, healthcare, transportation, jobs, income inequality, the PAP has done much to address them. And we have seen early fruits. We have brought down the income gap down, and the Gini coefficient stands today at 0.37 after taxes and transfers. But this is a number many Singaporeans may find hard to understand. The key question then, as we venture into the elections, is to ask ourselves, do Singaporeans actually feel this improvement in their lives? And it is our duty to make sure they do. For the longer-term issues, we must be ready to make tough decisions, do the right things for Singapore and Singaporeans. There are no easy, ready solutions on the table. While I'm confident that we can find those solutions, the key to all this will most likely involve very difficult trade-offs. One policy may have impact on another, and we need to find the optimal balance to chart our way ahead. There will be diverse views, different interests, and even some will probably just oppose for the sake of opposing. We will certainly have robust debates, maybe even heated exchanges, in order to find the best ideas to move forward for Singapore's interests and Singaporean needs. But through all this, it is critical for Singapore to find strength in our unity. Our party must make the best efforts to communicate with Singaporeans. We must explain our policies and let the people know we have their best interests at heart. If one time is not sufficient, we must communicate a second time, and if need be, a third. In making these tough calls, our party must keep the faith between the government and our people. The PAP must continue to rally Singaporeans together as our founding fathers did. We must have good leaders that will engender the overarching politics that would unite Singaporeans in this increasingly complex world. We must have good MPs who will listen to the needs of the constituents and give frank and honest feedback to the government. We must, in sum, look after the bread and butter issues. Let us rally Singaporeans to move forward as one people, one nation, one Singapore. Let me now conclude. I am confident about Singapore's future. Why? Because in the difficult week of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's state funeral, I saw many good qualities in Singapore and in Singaporeans. I saw our armed forces together with the police force and the whole of government working day and night to make sure things went on smoothly. When critical manpower was needed, our NS men stepped forward. We did not need to issue any orders or do a recall. Many just called up to me and said, I'm here, I'm ready, deploy me. I saw businesses sponsoring food, water, umbrellas, just to make sure fellow Singaporeans are taken care of. But most importantly, I saw a Singaporean spirit giving each other strength. I saw a Singaporean spirit ignited. Our pledge in that week came alive. United as one people, regardless of race, language, and religion. In those sad moments, in spite of severe deprivation, I had a wellspring of joy. This joy cemented my resolve to make a positive difference to Singapore and Singaporeans. I believe we have the right staff in the PAP. In almost 30 years of public service, I've seen many ministers labor tirelessly to find the best direction and policies for Singaporeans. In my time in the PAP now, I see many of you comrades working selflessly on the ground for the people. We know that if we want a strong country, a beautiful neighborhood, and if we want a good home, we have to put in our best efforts, put our hands together to build it ourselves, with our sweat, and maybe sometimes even with our tears. The PAP represents the best way forward for Singapore and Singaporeans. We have a proven record, we have the right people with the integrity and the right heart to serve Singapore and Singaporeans. Let us therefore all work together to win this election. Majulah PAP. Thank you.